A new COVID variant sweeping both the UK and US had sparked an alert from their health chiefs. UK Health Security Agency bosses admit they do not know if the mutated strain is more infectious or deadlier. Yet top scientists remain confident that the darkest days of the pandemic era are consigned to history. The new variant, nicknamed FLIRT, is now being monitored. It makes up around 30% of new cases currently. FLIRT also accounts for roughly a quarter of new cases in US. Surveillance data suggests it comes as COVID cases continue to slowly increase across the UK after infection rate dwindled over the spring. Virologists are using term FLIRT to describe a family of different variants KP2, KP3, JN17, JN11, and KP11. They are all descendant of JN1 variant that has been dominant in the UK for the past few months, that is dubbed Juno. All appear to have independently picked up the same set of mutations on the spike protein, which has various uses to attach to human and take hold. Some mutations make it easier for the virus to infect the nose and throat compared to other circulating variants. Everything you need to know about FLIRT. What is FLIRT? Virologists are using the term FLIRT to describe a family of different variants KP2, KP3, JN1.7, JN1.1, and KP1.1. They are all descent of JN1 variant that has been dominant in the UK for past few months, that itself was dubbed Juno. Why it is a concern? Latest UK Health Security Agency data shows there were 1,985 COVID cases logged in the week ending May 7, up 25% on the various 7 days. The new variant is now being monitored. It makes up around 40% of new cases currently. FLIRT also accounts for roughly a quarter of new cases in the US. Surveillance data suggests. Does it have any new symptoms? According to the US University Johns Hopkins, FLIRT doesn't appear to have any new specific symptom. The period of infectiousness also remains the same as JN1 and previous Omicron variant. The institution added, is it more deadly than other variant? There is currently no evidence that FLIRT is any more or treated than dozens of strains that have came before it. According to CDSC, there is no reason to believe it would cause more serious illness than other strains, the UKSHA said. When a new variant appears on our radar at the initial stage, it is often quite difficult to know whether the mutations provide any advantage to the virus. Genetic mutations happen all the time, and in some cases have been known as the virus less transmissible or cause milder reaction in people. Minister had repeatedly said that they won't resort to imposing lockdown unless the doomsday variant, a wall of immunity among the population built up by repeated wave of infection and vaccine rollout, has given official confidence to consign pandemic era measure to the history. Spikes in COVID cases can still cause mass illness across the country, sparking chaos in school, the health service, and public transport. Latest UK Health Security Agency data showed there were 1,985 COVID cases logged in the week ending May 7, up 25% on the previous 7 days. Yet this only reflects the fraction of society still testing and submitting results. One, the worst of pandemic below our official BNet, the mass testing scheme. Positivity rate, considered one of the best way of tracking the outbreak size, also rose 8.6% in the week ending May 5, an increase on the 6.8% logged in the previous week. Officials no longer track prevalence of the virus in the same way they used to as a part of the government on sharing in the pre-COVID normalities. Dr. Mary Ramsay, the UKHS's Director of Public Health Program, last week said, once again, COVID cases and hospitalizations have risen this week. So now is the time to get your spring vaccine if you are eligible and haven't already. If you have symptoms of COVID or flu, try to stay at the home as it helps protect others, especially those who are more vulnerable to the virus. If you are unable to stay at home when unwell, consider wearing a mask. According to the US University Johns Hopkins, FLIRT doesn't appear to have any new specific symptom. The period of infectiousness has remained the same as JN1 and previous Omicron variant, the institution added. There is currently no evidence FLIRT is any more of threatened than the dozen of strains that has come before it. According to CDC, there is no reason to believe it would be also cause more illness than other strains. Experts have long said COVID is on the way to becoming seasonal, even eventually becoming just another cause of common cold. Other coronavirus known as infected typically cause mild symptoms. Health officials, however, still advise people with a respiratory system to limit their contact with vulnerable groups such as elderly, pregnant women, and those who underlying condition over the fear they could get seriously unwell if infected.